Today's Woman is brought to you by
Gino Pomo Tomato Mix.
As always, a very good evening to you, my dear viewers, and welcome to the Today's Woman Show. A show where we seek to inspire you by exploring stories, journeys, and voices of women in society who are shaping our world, one business or career at a time. Before we delve into things, allow me to share a few words on science and storytelling. Why women don't have to choose just one passion. After all, who says that you can't be a scientist and an artist at the same time? For generations, women have been told to pick a lane, to be either analytic or artistic, structured or imaginative. But life doesn't thrive in silos, and neither do women. Science and storytelling, far from being opposites, are both acts of curiosity. One seeks to understand the world through evidence, the other through empathy. Both demand observation, creativity, and the courage to ask why. Women like those who blend lab coats with literary pens remind us that passion is not a single note, but a symphony. To pursue multiple callings is not indecision, it's integration. When we allow ourselves to explore every spark, we don't dilute our purpose, we deepen it. The world needs more women to prove that logic and imagination, data and dreams can coexist, and that brilliance often lives at the intersection of both. My name is Audrey, and the Today's Woman Show is brought to you by Gino Tomato Mix, Onion and Pepper Mix, Jollof Mix, Gino Truly Cares, and SO Aesthetics. So you, so beautiful. Let's take a short commercial break. Welcome back to the Today's Woman Show. The show is brought to you by kind courtesy of Gino Tomato Mix, Pepper and Onion Mix, Jollof Mix, ably supported by SO Aesthetics. Now, if you've just joined us, it's perfect timing because I'm just about to give you a clue as to who my Today's Woman is. Keep watching.
Elizabeth-Irene Baite is a Ghanaian clinical biochemist, award-winning author, and director of Patholab Medical Laboratory, one of Ghana's leading diagnostic centers. She holds an MSc in clinical biochemistry with molecular biology from the University of Surrey in the UK. A scientist by training and a storyteller by calling, Elizabeth-Irene believes that both worlds are deeply connected by curiosity and discovery. Her literary works for children and young adults are known for their heart, depth, and emotional honesty. Her debut, A Saint in Brown Sandals, won the Macmillan Writers' Prize for Africa. Subsequent novels all received the prestigious Burt Award for African Young Adult Literature. With 7 published novels to her name, Elizabeth-Irene continues to inspire readers across the continent and beyond, weaving stories that celebrate resilience, identity, and the power of imagination. She lives in vibrant Accra with her husband and is the proud mother of 3 grown children.
My dear viewers, let's meet Elizabeth-Irene Baite, award-winning Ghanaian author of children's and young adult literature and director of Patholab here in Accra. Hey. She's my beauty queen. Please sit. You kindly sit in the middle for us.
Thank you, Audrey.
And welcome to the show.
Thank you.
I'm happy. I mean, I know you've done many of these interviews, I'm sure by now, so you should be no stranger to TV. Today is me and you, nobody else.
Today's Woman is extra special.
Because why? For you, why?
It's a wonderful opportunity to be able to connect and to share. And I think that's really what we're all about, isn't it? Sharing what it is that
Community.
we do. Exactly.
And supporting each other. But we want to hear the story. We're going to take you back to your childhood. Do you have good memory?
It depends on who you ask. Don't ask my husband.
He'll say not, What was it like growing up? Was reading a real focal point for you as a child?
Audrey, reading was everything to me growing up. I literally couldn't think of anything better to do than to hide myself in a good book. And my friends in primary school, quite a king, they all knew, don't lend Elizabeth-Irene your book, because I will read it during class and the teacher will see me reading it while he's teaching math and come and confiscate the book, yes. So yes, for me, reading was everything. And I had a dad who plied me with books. So there was no shortage of literary material for me. It was heaven.
We had a whole library at home, but I don't think I was a sucker for books as you were. I think maybe you were born to read, and that's what you did.
Yes.
But obviously, you know, in our day when we were in school, you were either a scientist or, well, doing more of the arts. You chose to go into science. Why, with the love of books, did you then decide, no, I'm not going to do anything in the arts, but move more into the science-based discipline?
That's a great question, Audrey. And looking back, I know that if I wasn't brought up in the environment within which I was, or if I hadn't gone to the school that I had, I'm quite sure that I would have gravitated towards a career in literature, wherever that took me. Because for me, reading and writing was my first love. But in school, Ajimoto School, there was a strong focus on attracting students into the sciences, which is all very well and good. And I had good aptitude in the sciences. So I found that the school encouraged me to continue with science, and my dad definitely did. And I think I'd like to thank my dad for that, because he reminded me that you can do both. And I think I needed to hear that. Otherwise, it would have been the love of literature that would have grabbed me first.
I think a lot of us from that era fell into that same quagmire or whatever it is, because we all felt you needed to prove that you were smart, and so you needed to do the sciences.
The sciences, yes.
And so a lot of people went into that direction.
Yes.
But
and it can be very confusing for a young person.
Yes, and then we didn't have a lot of career counseling in the day. I mean, you couldn't go and talk to somebody and say, oh, well, okay, I'm smart, but maybe I want to pursue this. No, you were smart, so you had to go into the sciences.
Absolutely.
And I think that's what it is. But you didn't stop there. You did biochemistry here and went on to do an MSc. I mean, at what stage were you thinking that literature or writing would be something that you wanted to go into?
The writing never left me. It's something that, I don't know whether I should say it haunted me. I kept writing. When you get into university, you find that every other pursuit is beaten out of you because you're just so focused on making sure you're getting good grades. But having done that, you've done your master's, you started working, and you have those moments in the evening and you sit down and think, I really, really wanted to write. And then you ask yourself, so why don't you? So that's, after I had begun the laboratory, I realized this is not going to leave me. I have to pick it up. I was scribbling in my journals and I put one thing out there for a competition, but I was still so focused on my career as a scientist that it was beginning to absorb me, and I realized I had to do something. Otherwise, I wouldn't be happy.
So how far during your journey of being the owner of Patholab did you then decide that now, no, time for me to write? Was it when the children came, or what? Did you find that
after my third child. By this time, I was probably about 33, the year 2003. Mind you, I was always writing, always scribbling. I had stacks of journals and notes, and because when you have that storytelling, the desire to tell stories, it doesn't leave you. I have a conversation with Audrey, it sparks off something in my head. In the evening, I find myself writing. But
you keep a diary?
I used to keep a diary. You know what they say, good girls keep diaries. Other girls don't have the time. I used to keep a diary, and I still journal from time to time, but not as fastidiously, as I used to. But so I was always writing down ideas, drafts for stories, but the discipline of sitting down and developing it into a full story didn't come until about 2003.
So almost 22 years now? And you've been writing?
Yes.
22 years
yes,
you've been writing?
Yes.
And how many books have you written in the period?
8 so far. 8 so far.
Well done.
Published. Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. Published here in the USA,
And
Nigeria,
in
the UK, in Brazil, and then we've just signed one for Japan as well.
Interesting.
Yes.
So it's going to be translated into Japanese, or it's going to be...
Yes, it's translated. It will be translated to Japanese. It's currently translated into Italian. I have my Italian copies, and I think I need to go for Italian classes.
Are you serious?
I don't understand the word. Yes.
So I mean, like, I'm gobsmacked. Japanese. So as you're typing the story, it's translating it. Obviously, then you get an editor to go through it. To make sure
I'm not. Oh,
okay,
gosh,
you're not
no.
going to do that.
No.
Okay.
A Japanese publisher has picked it up.
Oh.
Yes. So in the different countries, different publishers decide through my agent, yes, we like the story, and then they publish it in the language of their choice.
So what do you feel like you're currently? Are you more the scientist or more the creative?
I think I'm both. It's definitely both. It's a split.
Let's take you now to your work. I mean, back to your work now as a scientist. You're the owner of Patholab. Why the name Patholab? And what pushed you into actually starting your own laboratory?
What I did know, Audrey, as I said, I was a storyteller. I used to love writing, and this was a love that I'd had from childhood. And instinctively, I knew that whatever career I had or I chose, I would still want to make space for writing. And therefore, I knew I wanted to be self-employed. And so within the field of the sciences, a little bit of exposure. I did some work in a laboratory, and I thought, I think I will like this. It was quite clear to me that one would have to build a good team, but it allowed me the possibility of having some flexibility to do some writing. So really, running my own establishment was as a result of my desire to make sure that I would have time to write. That was always there right from the beginning.
What challenges have you faced running your own business, especially the laboratory?
Oh, Audrey.
Yeah, I have all day.
How long do we have?
All day.
The usual challenges everybody faces, from trying to keep your vision alive, trying to adjust your vision to suit the changing times. Laboratory science has changed so much. There was a time when even pregnancy tests had to be run in the laboratory. But everything has changed. Machines have become smaller, they become cheaper, easier to use. And so you find that the space is now no longer as restricted to laboratory scientists as it used to be. There's so many simple tests that you can have run in a pharmacy, in your doctor's.
Is that taking away from you business, would you say?
Yes, it does take away. It's evolving. The science evolves. It's dynamic. You have to roll with it. You have to flow with it, and there's no point in fighting against it. So just embracing that understanding and making the required changes, making sure that you can offer things that other facilities
That's what I was
cannot.
going to ask. So how are you counteracting that so it's not affecting bottom line?
We will often look at tests which are in high demand from medical facilities. We run support services for medical facilities. So if you're a hospital, medical facility, you have a laboratory, but you need some supplementary services, we'll step in to help you. And we do a lot of corporate work on the scale of which cannot be carried out by other smaller facilities. Yes, because corporate wellness is a very big focus of ours at Patholab.
So when you say corporate wellness, you go into a company, you screen their workers, that sort of thing?
Yes, exactly. We screen the staff, we educate the staff on what they need to do to stay healthy. We will give the HR manager or the director of the company a picture of their health statistics of their staff. 10% are hypertensive, 5%.
That's interesting.
Yes, 5% have a higher likelihood of developing cardiovascular disease, 4% are diabetic, and we will offer suggestions for interventions that can help. We will not do any treatment. That is left for your medical facility to take up, yes. But we will support you and give you the data so you can work with it.
That's very interesting to know that that service exists, because for me, I will call Patholab when I need to screen a new employee.
Yes.
But not necessarily to think that you're actually coming in and screening the entire work body to ensure that we know what we're dealing with, literally. Because I think that a lot of us, I mean, I'm sure I'm one of the culprits. We take a lot of things for granted because you think, oh, I'm okay. I'm walking around the place. I'm fine.
Yeah,
you know, that sort of thing.
It's actually human nature, Audrey. Most people don't think the worst could happen to them. I think it's nature's way of making sure that we stay focused and optimistic, because if we all woke up assuming that the worst thing in the world is going to happen to us, it might affect our drive and...
Except you suffer from anxiety like myself. Well, let's go on. Your first children's book, A Saint in Brown Sandals. I mean, that won your Macmillan Writers' Prize for Africa. What was it about? What's the story about for somebody who hasn't read it? And what was the, motivation behind it?
A Saint in Brown Sandals. That's like my first child, And interestingly, it was inspired by my first child. Alia, she's 30 now.
Hey, already?
Yes,
My
she's, well,
goodness.
30 on her next birthday.
Wow.
But I recall going to pick her up from school. She was a quiet child, not like her mother. And she was surrounded by her friends, and everybody was chatting, and she was so quiet. And she was typically very quiet. Her friends would come home, and Alia would be reading, and her friends, sometimes her brother would be entertaining her friends. And I asked her once when I went to fetch her from school, because I sat in the car park and I was watching her. She wasn't saying anything. And I asked her, Alia, all your friends are chatting, why aren't you? And she said, because I don't know whether anybody is interested in what I have to say. This was her at about 8 or 9. She was a quiet child. She's not quiet now.
Anymore.
She has changed.
She's found her voice.
She has found her voice. She's much more like her mother now. I think she's probably more than I am.
She was going through a phase there.
Honestly, it's interesting to see the evolution, yes. And then that began to spark an idea in my head, because that's where the stories grow from. They grow from a conversation I had with you, something I read on the news, something somebody told me, something I saw. It's like a seed.
And then that germinates into a whole how many pages of a novel?
Exactly, germinates. I love that, because then it just begins to grow. Other thoughts begin to form around it. And I was thinking, okay, so here you are, you're a child, and you're not sure whether anybody thinks that you might have anything of interest to say. And then I begin to think about children and their sense of self-esteem, and then I begin to think about a child who perhaps wants to be like somebody else. It went on from there. So my story is about Rabi. She's 11 years old. She keeps a diary, and she wants to be like Maybelline. Maybelline is pretty. She's one of the most popular girls in school. The teachers love her. All the kids love her. In fact, once Maybelline's sandwich fell, a chicken picked up the sandwich and was running away with it, and about 15 children were running after the chicken to catch the sandwich from Maybelline. And Rabi asked herself, would anybody, even one person, run after a chicken? So it's a journey of self-discovery, wanting to be like Maybelline, and discovering along the way that perhaps there's nothing wrong with her.
Would you say that her or you're having young adult children was what inspired you? Because a lot of your books are about young adult
children
and young adults.
Yes.
So would you say because of your role as a mother, they were interested enough, they piqued your interest, and you thought,
absolutely,
these are individual subjects that I can actually tackle, which are pertinent to the children that I have.
Absolutely. I mean, in the evening, sometimes after they'd gone to bed, I would sit down and I'd just be scribbling notes. And sometimes it would be something they had done, sometimes it would be something they had said, or they had heard, or something I'd observed in the playground. There's just so much material when it comes to children.
As a professional, you obviously, motherhood was something you took very seriously.
Yes.
Because you probably were at you were picking them, were you doing drop-offs and pickups?
I was doing pickups. My husband did the drop-offs and I did the pickups, yes.
I tell people all the time that it's very important to do the pickups, because that's when you have conversations with the children about their day, you know. These days, everybody's ceded that role to a nanny or a driver, and, unfortunately, we won't judge because I don't know what people are going through. But, I mean, you must have a really fertile imagination to develop these characters. Why Rabi? Why the name Rabi?
I'm not sure, Rabi is a rabbiner.
Oh, okay.
Yes, she's a rabbiner, and yes, I just
that's why
it sounded fun. Yes.
So I'm just thinking. I'm sitting there and I see something, and how that whole thing now becomes a whole theme.
A whole theme. You would be surprised at what can germinate the idea for a story. So I keep telling children when I go to schools, which I do very often, because I'm invited to chat with them as an author. I tell the children, ideas are like feathers. If you don't catch them, they fly away. You're constantly scribbling down, and you have an idea here, another idea there, and suddenly they come together, sometimes in your subconscious. So I wake up at dawn. I'm an early riser. I wake up, and as my husband knows, I just wake up and I sit on my bed.
Every single day?
Every single morning with my eyes shut, and I just allow, this is the Holy Spirit, the creative muse, whoever wants to say something to me, speak, I'm listening, you know. And it's just so much, something happens and suddenly a thought stirs and a story begins. Or it could be a prayer, it could be anything. But those quiet dawn hours, for me, are the best. And often the story begins to ferment from there.
Interesting. Interesting. We should all try and adopt that attitude in the morning instead of probably jumping into a phone or,
honestly,
you know.
There's this poet, was it Rumi? I think it's Rumi. In the 11th century or something, he's got this poem. It says, "The breeze at dawn has secrets to tell you. Do not go back to sleep." I can't remember the whole poem, but that's how it starts. Do not go back to sleep. It more or less says you must listen to what it has to tell you. Don't go back to sleep. And so I resist the urge, because it's very strong, to pick up and see, you know, what's up that I've missed. Yeah, just resist the urge and just sit silently. And sometimes your brain is ticking. It wants to move. I'm a person who likes doing things. And forcing myself to sit quietly is a whole exercise in itself.
And you do that for how long?
Oh, typically about maybe 45 minutes.
Interesting, that long?
Yes, between 30 to 45 minutes.
And everybody knows not to disturb you at that hour?
Everybody knows, yes. You come into the room, I'm sitting, it's dark. And it's usually early. Most of them are asleep. I'm an early riser, so I'll be up.
5 a.m.?
5 a.m. Oh, I'll be 5 a.m. I've been up for a couple of hours. So
no way.
Yes. So typically around 3.
Do you go to bed? Are you an early to bed person?
I should.
That means you're not having enough sleep, my dear.
I should go to bed early. That's another thing I need to discipline myself with. So ideally, by 8:30, I should be in bed. But in truth, it's typically closer to about 9:30, 10.
Which is not bad.
Which is not bad, but
But considering that you're waking up at 3 a.m.
Yes, 3:30.
And that means you're up and your day has begun.
My day has begun, yes.
Seriously?
Yes. But typically in the afternoons,
you have
around 3 o'clock, everybody in my team knows that around 3 o'clock, Mrs. Baite is probably going to need a little nap. So I'll sit in my office, in my couch, you know, just lie down, 20 minutes, and I wake up feeling power nap. I am a big fan of the power nap.
Well, that's so. I mean, you're the reverse of me. I don't sleep at all during the day. No matter how tired I am, I don't fall asleep during the day. I don't go to bed before midnight.
Okay, but you sleep?
And I don't get out of bed before 8 a.m.
Oh, that's fantastic. So you get your 8 hours.
Well, not all the time, because sometimes midnight becomes 1 a.m. and then 1:30.
I know.
And you know what I mean? And then you're thinking, oh, you should be sleeping.
Yes,
but in the morning, I will wake up by 8 o'clock and I actually don't get out of bed till 9.
Till 9, oh, fantastic.
Yes, unless I have a meeting or I have to be, on Mondays I have a meeting, so Mondays I try to do it that way, but you don't wake me up.
Yes.
Because once I get up,
you're up.
I'm up.
Yeah, and we are different. Some people are night owls, some people are sort of morning
But it's
people.
not that I'm up at 1 a.m. to party, because I don't party either. I know you like dancing.
I do, Audrey.
I know you love dancing. You're an all-rounded person, which I love about you.
Thank you.
Now, what was the sequel to A Saint in Brown Sandals?
An Angel in Mucky Shorts.
Wow.
An Angel in Mucky Shorts. And that tells there's the main character, the same character, but the theme of this story is, you know, you never know who could be an angel in your life. Yes. I'm not going to say too much about it, but it's me exploring and hoping that children will come to see what virtues the most unlikely people in our lives have and what they can bring, you know, how they can positively impact us. Very often we want everybody to be like us, especially when you're a child. Children like to belong, and we like to choose a tribe that is just like us. But of course, as we grow up, we realize that there's beauty in diversity.
Yes, of course.
And in this story, that's something that I'm hoping that I can introduce to the children. That just because somebody isn't like you, doesn't dress like you, has got mucky shorts, doesn't necessarily mean that the person doesn't have something good and beneficial to offer.
And that's a beautiful thing to say. What did it feel like winning the Macmillan Writers' Prize for Africa?
It was validation of the best kind, Audrey. Because don't forget, I've been sitting on this for years. Since I was a child, I'd wanted to write. And when I finally got the book out and it won, I thought, okay, so I do have something. It's not just me thinking I want to write, there is something there. It spurred me on, Audrey. It spurred me on. There was no going back after that.
Because that's the first book you actually released, wasn't it?
It was.
To get a prize for that, but you've had many prizes thereafter.
I have.
Hey, award-winning author.
Thank
Today
you.
in my studio. This is so lovely.
Thank you for having me here.
No, but you've gone on and had several awards,
Mm-hmm.
and then the books are being published in the UK, published in the US, like you said, and now it's in Japan.
In Japan.
What's next for you?
In terms of writing,
Yes.
well, my 9th book is currently with my agent.
Oh,
yes.
it's been written.
Yes. Oh, yes, it's been written. It was a long time coming. It was due last year, but, you know, better late than never. And I submitted it to my wonderful agent. I mean, my agent is the story of myself and my agent. That's another one that's
An angel for you.
honestly, because when I wrote my second book, The 12 Hearts, I thought I would love to have an agent. And I wrote probably about 40 letters looking for agents and sending samples of my work. And I was told, oh yes, this is a great story. The writing is beautiful, but we're not looking for anything like this as at yet. And after the 40th letter, I told myself, you know what, I could be channeling all this energy into
Writing another book.
Yes, because I was running the lab during the day, so all of this is me at night doing this work. And so I wrote my 3rd book, my 4th book, my 5th book, my 6th book. And then one day I get an email and it's, oh, hello Elizabeth, pardon me for reaching out to you out of the blue. I'll never forget that first line. And she introduces herself, it's not a name that I'm familiar with, and says that she's interested in my work. And I get to meet her, and guess what? This lady is the agent, the publisher who oversaw the publication of all 8 Harry Potter novels.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. I was screaming, my kids were screaming. And for me, it was just this realization that, you know something, don't stop. Just keep doing what you do, and what you are looking for will find you.
Do you believe that the divine has a hand in our lives?
I do,
and
Audrey.
orchestrates our steps.
I do.
You do.
I really believe in us. One of my friends, Eugenia, likes to say, she's a sister, ordered steps. I believe that because, yes, I mean, because
It's you.
Yes, and this took years. I stopped writing letters to agents in the year 2010, and I got the email from Sarah in probably about 8 years later, about 2018 or so. So 8 years later, Sarah found me.
And what would you say has been your writing career since she came into your life?
Yes, it's as a result of Sarah's work with me, or her collaboration with me, that my books are in the UK and in Nigeria and in Brazil and in the USA and in Italy and going to Japan, because I wouldn't be able to do that. So Sarah will take my books and introduce them to publishers in countries and, you know, just tell them about, yes. That's a lot of work.
I can imagine.
So I am,
because you're not obviously the only writer on her books.
Yes, and publishers are busy.
Publishers are busy.
Exactly.
Publishers
So
are
I'm
busy.
grateful.
And that's a wonderful thing. What frustrations have you faced as a writer?
I think perhaps for me, it's more the desire that the craft of writing is more supported in Ghana. I think for many reasons, there's a very heavy emphasis on the harder subjects in the curriculum, sort of your math and your science. That's very important. And I feel that generally we need to be very intentional about creating reading spaces for children and encouraging children in different ways to read. The curriculums tend to be quite intense, and this takes away from children's opportunities to engage with books and with literature. And the downside of that is this creates reading for enjoyment, creates an ability for the child's imagination to just
run.
Yeah, exactly. To just spin out of orbit.
Yes.
And while it is important to keep a strong focus on the maths and the sciences and so forth, I think that this is an area that
at
we
least.
need. Yes, we need to pay attention.
It was a question I had wanted to ask, and it's if you could change one thing about the literary ecosystem in Ghana or Africa, what would it be to better support writers, actually, especially? What would it be?
That's a tough one, because what happens in cases like this is writers, I am blessed, I should say, in that I haven't struggled to find publishers in Ghana. The publishers actually found me, as it were. But for a lot of writers who are keen to get their crafts out, they find that most publishers would rather invest their time, for good reason, in textbooks, because there's a market for that. All the schools will buy textbooks. And there hasn't been much reason to incentivize creative writing. So that's an area which, I know it's complicated, because at the end of the day, the publisher needs to make money.
Of course.
They need to publish books that they know people will buy, and those will often be the textbooks. So that's, it's a difficult area, yes. And I'm not going to pretend I understand everything about it. But.
Is there going to be an Elizabeth-Irene Baite library soon?
Oh, there is one. It's not Elizabeth-Irene Baite Library, but there's, yes. I am leading the development of the YWCA Children's Library, and I call it the I See Me Children's Library. We began this year. It's something I'm passionate about, super excited about, and happy to talk about it on your show. Because the YWCA has a beautiful space in Adabraka, and they wanted to begin a library. And I was contacted. It's wonderful how these things just keep finding you see. So as I always say, yes, they contacted me, and yes, I was excited about it. And what we are looking for is having a library where our children, our Ghanaian children, could walk into the library and find that there are many books in the library with characters that reflect who they are.
Identify
Exactly, they can identify with. We grew up on a diet of books from the UK, the USA, and there was nothing wrong with them. We thoroughly enjoyed them, but there was very little representation, and I think that's important.
Except Anansi.
Yes, I know. But out of every 10 books that you read as a child, only one of them would be an Anansi story.
Exactly.
And I think it's important because, coming back to myself, one of the first drafts that I wrote thinking I'd have published later on, which I didn't, was set in the UK. And this was me as an adult writing a book, a children's book set in the UK. Why? Because that was the only book that I knew. The only kind of book that I was familiar with were children's stories set there. So I wanted us to have in the library a range of books, because there's so much good literature out there. There's so many people writing wonderful.
And you know that in Nigeria, they do more about promoting their local writers than we do here.
They do.
Yes.
They do. They do.
We
Over
have some
here,
really
yes, we have
prolific writers.
Absolutely,
in Nigeria.
absolutely. The Nigerians are on another level. I'll be going to Nigeria. I've been invited to the Kidlit Festival in December, and I'm very excited to see what that's going to be like. Yes. But over here, we have very, very good writers. It's just that sometimes people don't know what they're doing. So getting all those good books in there and then
making a space.
Yes, making a space. So the children have begun coming. We began having
wonderful.
events. We'll probably invite you to come.
So it's called what? I See You?
The YWCA Children's Library, but it's the I See Me Children's Library.
I See Me Children's Library.
And our slogan is empowering children through representation.
And that's wonderful.
Yes. And beyond reading, it's an opportunity for us to invite people like yourself, Audrey, to come and talk to the children about who you are and what you do.
Wonderful.
And then connect with them through a book, your favorite book.
Okay.
And just give the children an opportunity to ask you questions. What did you do to become who you are?
Interesting.
And spark ideas in their imagination.
I think it's time to do things like that.
Yes.
The children are caught up in a world of tech these days, that
Yes.
there's very little interpersonal
Yes,
relationships,
yes,
and we
yes,
need to
yes.
develop something beyond that.
Yes,
But we're running out of time, and it's not because we don't have much to say. There's so much more I could ask you about. If I wanted any one of your books, where would I find them?
You would find my books in Accra. You'd find them in Vidia's Bookshop. You'd find them in EPP. You'd find them in Kingdom. You'd find them in City Reads. You'd find them in Booksy. I'm sure I've forgotten somebody. You'd find them in Mr. Books.
Are these all physical stores or online?
These are physical stores.
Physical
yes.
stores, that's fantastic.
You find them in Read to Live, yes. They're
I didn't even
available.
know that we had that many good stores.
We do. When you look, you find them.
Well, viewers, we're going to go for a short commercial break, and when we come back, it's my quick fire round with Elizabeth. Welcome back to the Today's Women Show. As always, I'd like to acknowledge our sponsors, Gino Tomato Mix, Onion and Pepper Mix, Jollof Mix, Truly Cares, and Esso Aesthetics. So You, So Beautiful. I hope you've enjoyed my time a few moments ago with Elizabeth-Irene. To me, she's Baba. Elizabeth-Irene is such a mouthful. So we've finished our very intense conversation, and now it's on to the lighter side of things. This evening, she's talking to us about another ritual that she does, apart from waking up so early and doing that whole Zen thing. She has another wellness tip which she's sharing with us here before I ask her those quick fire questions. So talk us through the ingredients you have here.
Well, Audrey, so this is I call it my antioxidant tea. Okay. We have some cloves here, we've got some ginger, we've got some black pepper which pairs up with the turmeric, and then we've got some cinnamon. Now, why do I drink this? Because it is packed full of antioxidants. What are antioxidants? They are the substances, should I say substances which help us fight free radical damage within the body. Now, I know this sounds a little bit technical, but let's assume you've got a piece of iron outside. The iron will begin to rust. So the rust that occurs within our body, something similar, it's called oxidative stress. The rust that occurs within our body is, this helps to temper that. This helps to prevent or to stop the rust, the oxidative stress.
But for somebody with a biochemist background, it really works?
It works, yes. It works.
That's why you're looking the way you are looking. It's not genetics. It's part of something that is trying to minimize the oxidative stress in your body, is it?
Yes, this is Monday to Friday. Oxidative stress is like, imagine you have a house, and as a result of your activities within the house.
Literally, wear and tear.
Yes. The activities within your house, there's a little bit of smoke being released. This more or less opens the window for the smoke to go out, all the byproducts that are harming your body.
So tell us again, you've got cloves here.
I've got cloves here. So I would normally put a little bit of cloves.
Yeah.
I will put some ginger in. These are fantastic, nature's own antioxidants. I'll have a little bit of cinnamon, not too much, just a little bit. You don't want too much cinnamon either. And then I have black pepper and turmeric. Now, why do we pair black pepper with turmeric? Because black pepper makes sure that the compound that we are interested in
curcumin,
exactly, it's released and it's absorbed effectively in our bodies. And this is it. It's very simple.
And how long do you leave it to steep for?
Probably about 5 minutes.
And it cools down enough for you to drink? It cools down,
yes. Sometimes I drink it cold, probably about 5 minutes, and that's it. Okay. It's quick, it's simple, it's easy, and I recommend it to everybody.
So I'm starting from tomorrow. So do you actually do that every day, or how often can you eat immediately after to be able to get the benefits of it?
It doesn't really matter. Before food, after food, I have this Monday to Friday.
Is there something like taking too much turmeric?
Particularly with cinnamon, yes. You need to be careful with cinnamon because cinnamon can affect the blood clotting. Yes. Too much cinnamon and your blood's ability to clot will slow down. So it might develop in a bleeding disorder.
So somebody with hemophilia mustn't?
No. So as with everything else, in moderation. Exactly, in moderation.
Okay, so whilst we leave that to steep, let's go on and ask you a few of the questions which will get us to know you even deeper. If you weren't a writer or a scientist, what else might you have become?
I probably would be some environmentalist, some advocate for the environment.
Because you're carrying those bags.
Yes.
Now tell us about those bags before we go.
Okay, so these are tote bags, which I have so many of them. These are tote bags which have been given to me at various events, and I carry these bags with me, often rolled up inside my handbag. They roll up so small, very tiny, inside your handbag, tuck them in there. You go to a shop and you're buying something. It's very easy to put it in here, put it inside here, and carry your purchases home. Why? Because of the effect of plastic on the environment. It's a nightmare, actually.
A menace.
It's beyond a menace. It's a catastrophe. The plastic that we're using, we say we're throwing it away. Where is away? There's no away. Away is right here with us on Earth. And it just keeps being broken down into smaller and smaller particles. And at first we were concerned, they're finding their way into the fish. Guess what? They're finding their way into
Our
us.
bodies, because we're eating the fish.
It's not just the fish, Audrey. The particles are becoming so small that they are being integrated into everything, into the water, even into the air that we breathe. So now, scientifically, we are finding plastics, microplastics in the brain, in the lungs, even in breast milk.
But you know, that's scary, because we're having to deal with what Galamsey has done to us here. And then worldwide, we're having to deal with
plastic. Yes.
As well.
Yes.
My goodness.
Honestly, I think there needs to be a national drive to encourage people, and a lot of it is the economics of it, and then of course the awareness, but encourage to reuse plastics. You buy a plastic bag, use it again, reduce your use of plastic, refuse a plastic bag, because sometimes you've got something else. So refuse a plastic bag, recycle. We have some recycling facilities in Ghana, not as many as we'd like to see.
And it's big business for anybody who wants to do it, though.
Yes. So,
huge business.
So this is why I carry these around, to remind people to reuse bags, reduce, refuse plastic where possible, and also recycle
as much as possible. That's a wonderful one. That's not a fun one, but anyway, let's go. A book by someone else you keep returning to.
It would have to be a book by someone else, perhaps Paulo Coelho's The Alchemist. Yes, that book.
He did another one. He's
done several.
Yes, but there's one that's very popular.
Yes, Veronica refused to die, decided to die, and so forth. They're a good number, but The Alchemist is the most popular. And it's such a beautifully woven tale. And for somebody who writes, we're always looking at what other people do.
For inspiration.
Yes, for inspiration. And that's for anybody who hasn't read it, I recommend it.
There are those who tread the path before you, and it's good to look up to them.
Yes.
Like a young writer that's looking up to you. What legacy do you hope to leave through your work?
The laboratory or writing?
You can tell us both.
Either. Well, I mean, for the laboratory, I hope that people will realize and recognize how magnificently we've been created and look after ourselves. I'm hoping that that love for the creation that we are is something that will drive people to look after themselves.
Do you mentor?
I do.
You do. So if somebody a young writer wanted to find you, where could they find you?
Oh, they find me. They find me on Instagram. They find me on Facebook. They find me. I have more manuscripts than I can even catch up with at the moment. Yes.
Well, I think now the tea is good to go, don't you say?
Yes, it is. I probably would let it cool a little bit more.
And could I sweeten if I wanted?
Yes, you could. I tend to drink it unsweetened, but if you have a sweet tooth, I would recommend not sugar, but a little bit of honey.
Just a little bit of
just
honey.
A little bit of honey.
Sweeten
just
it.
a little bit.
Some people actually add lemon to it as well.
Yes,
would that help?
Can. Yes.
Would that damage something?
Well, I would normally not add lemon to something that's piping hot, because heat denatures vitamin C. So you can let it cool down and then add the vitamin C. Yes.
Heat denatures vitamin C.
Yes.
Never knew that.
Yes. We want to drink the vitamin C. If it's warm, it's fine, but boiling hot, you lose some of the vitamin C.
Interesting.
Okay. So warm, yes, definitely. You can add vitamin C when it's warm.
Baba, it's been a joy to have you here. Thank you so much for your time. Viewers, we're going to go now to the world of trendy.
Creativity at your fingertips. Simple ways to spark innovation. Creativity isn't just for artists, it's for everyone. Whether you're solving problems at work, planning your next business move, or finding new ways to make life more exciting, innovation starts with one simple idea. On this week's Trendy Woman, we're exploring how to tap into your creative power, anytime, anywhere. Step 1. Change your environment. A new space or even a short walk can trigger fresh ideas. Step 2. Doodle, write, or voice note your thoughts. Capturing ideas as they come keeps inspiration flowing. Step 3. Collaborate. Talk to people outside your usual circle. Different perspectives spark brilliance. Step 4. Take breaks. Some of your best ideas come when your mind is relaxed, not rushed. Step 5. Try something new each week. A new recipe, a hobby, or a route. Creativity grows with curiosity. Because creativity isn't magic, it's a mindset. And when you embrace it, innovation is truly at your fingertips.
I hope some of the creativity shared with you will help you pick some simple tips to spark innovation. Now it's time for Woman on the Move.
Hi, my name is Jane Ando. I'm a fashion designer and my brand name is Inkunim Collection. My journey began in about 11 years ago. It was one Christmas, a dressmaker disappointed me. So that was when I decided to sew, learn how to sew and then sew for myself. The intention was actually not to sew for people. I just wanted to make good clothes for myself. So I got started. I enrolled myself with a person who sews. It was actually a man who taught me how to sew. And I enrolled myself, I learned. So the passion is just to make good clothes for myself. And as time went on, I think the passion grew into making good clothes for other people as well. So I enrolled myself in another fashion house. I learned how to do bridal, which is a gown and a kente, the native kente. So I learned how to do that. And now that is what I do. I do bridal, I do bespokes, and I also do casual wears as well. So my day normally starts at 9 a.m. So 9 a.m. it means the shop is already opened, cleaned and ready to roll. Usually when I get here in the morning, I outline the day, what I have to do, and then we get started. So what we actually do is we cut early mornings. So we get the fabrics, we cut them. From there, we continue with stitching. So let's say if we have about 5-6 dresses to make in a day, we cut everything in the morning. We roll them, we cut them, then the stitching continues. So we continue stitching throughout the day. We break at 1 p.m. for lunch, and then we continue from there. That is a typical fashion day. Every female designer has a lot of challenges, but personally, one challenge that over the years I've learned to overcome is dealing with family and then work as well. Because those are work, it actually needs you in person 24/7. And if you have to combine family and the work, it's quite challenging. So that is one challenge, but I think over the years I've been able to, I'm a married woman with a daughter, so having to combine work, home, business, it's quite challenging, but over the years we've been able to overcome that, yeah. So one of the surprises in running my own business is it has to do with trainees. Because usually you get people you are training, you train them up to some point and they are nowhere to be found again. That is one challenge I know that most fashion designers have to deal with. It's about trainees. Most of them are not consistent, and it's quite a challenge for us. So my vision for the next few years to come is to own a fashion house. Owning a fashion house is to have a big place that has a lot of apartments in it. If I say apartments, I mean a fashion home that has a display room, a showroom, it has a fashion room, it has a ready-to-wear room. Like, to own a fashion house that we can be able to do almost everything there, because space is a very big challenge here. So on top days, one thing that motivates me the most is when a client comes in, fits her dress, and it looks perfect on her. That is one thing that I look forward to every single day. Even through my tough times, when you see clients send you pictures, videos of themselves in their outfits, and they look good, they are confident out there, that is one thing that motivates me, brings me here every single day. To other women out there who are just starting up, the advice I have for them is not to give up. It might look difficult when you are starting. It's very difficult, yes, but don't give up. Do not give up. Continue pursuing your dreams, whatever field you are in. And one other thing is, upgrade is a must. Whatever you are doing, upgrade is a must. You have to always have at the back of your mind that whatever it is that you are doing, you have to upgrade yourself. Because our Gen Z world now is not like the world we were born into. So if you don't upgrade yourself, you'll be left behind. So don't give up and then go and upgrade yourself.
All too soon, the hour is up. I hope the conversation with Mrs. Baite has sparked not just admiration, but action. Whether you're a young writer, a scientist, or someone seeking to chase multiple passions. Thank you, Elizabeth-Irene, for sharing your heart, your journey, and your wisdom with us today. Your ability to weave science and story and to uplift young voices is truly inspiring. Viewers, I also hope you found our World of Trendy segment informative and our Woman on the Move has motivated you to take that first step towards your dream or encourage you to persevere. Once more, a shout out to Gino Tomato Mix, Onion and Pepper Mix, Jollof Mix. Gino truly cares, and So Aesthetics. So You, So Beautiful. Both of them for their sponsorship. Till next week, always remember, you are called, you are chosen, you are today's woman.
Today's Woman is brought to you by
Gino Tomato Mix.